The Accra Metropolitan Assembly has warned traders occupying unauthorized spaces in the city to vacate before the 8th of January this year. The Assembly says it will embark on an exercise to decongest the city and cautions the people to vacate before they are forced to do so. Mayor of Accra, Mohammed J. Soa, has been speaking to JoyNews on details of this action.
This exercise, it's a citywide intended to make sure that the pedestrian walkways are used for its intended purpose, and we don't want to allow hawkers and petty traders to take over the pedestrian walkways as well as the streets. We are starting from the central business districts, i.e. the Mokola, NIB, Farisco, Kwasiajaso, Katabanton areas, and will extend to Kanishin and also 37 area, the La Paz intersection area, and some parts of Odoko. So it's a process that will start from on the 8th, but it's a citywide exercise. So we are encouraging all the hawkers and the petty traders to move back into the market. If you go to the market now, Mokola, Kwasiajaso, they are virtually empty because people have moved from the market to come and sell on the pedestrian walkway and sometimes on the streets. We are very much concerned about the pedestrian safety. Today, if you are walking on the streets of Accra, you are compelled to walk on the main road and be competing with vehicles. That is completely unacceptable. The good thing about this exercise is that the police are on board fully on this particular exercise. If you look at road traffic regulations, LI 2180, it mandates the police to conduct this exercise even without recourse to the Assembly. But we are collaborating, and the Assembly is leading in that effort. And we are happy that the police are on board. The assurance also that we have also from the police is that they will deploy their men also to be on the streets as and when it's necessary. But there will be a skeletal police security force on the street to ensure that the traders do not come back onto the pedestrian walkway.
Elsewhere, there was total chaos at the 37 branch of the Driver Vehicle Licensing Authority office Tuesday afternoon when car owners thronged there to get the latest number plates. Hundreds of frustrated and disappointed clients who spoke to JoyNews lamented about the delays, which according to them is compounded by some bank tellers who conspire with Goro boys to register people who go through the back door. Here's Latif Idris' report.
It's the second day of 2018 and the first working day of the year. And as it happens every year, there is massive rush here at the 37 branch of the DVLA. People are trooping in their numbers, all in a bid to catch the latest number plate in town. I'm talking about a 2018 number plate. The situation is already creating chaos here.
Since morning, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. What is that? 10 a.m. Road waiting and a good one. We are not getting a road waiting. Uba munition, reason timber, Mutumia Sikas, Uba Poliform from the black. Coquin Penford, so from the black. I don't think the Yagi 10 o'clock. Look at the time.
Thank you very much. You also have some concerns to raise.
I didn't say. I mean, to say line on the end course. Only Papa quick to do your documents verse 10. No, or you know what, more than 1 hour. Maybe I wouldn't tell my bedjas. My bedja more than 2 hours. Be just I can say, if you're a human, and so much
clearly, there's chaos here at the banking hall, and some of these customers are already blaming the bank tellers for taking money from the Goro boys who are passing behind the back door to do registration for some customers who are going behind the back door to get their registration done. So the police has just come in to sack some of these guys out of the banking hall so that at least everybody would have their turn for smooth sailing registration process here, starting off at the banking hall. So it's interesting how quickly the police, have come in here to drive out some of these individuals doing multiple registration. Obviously, these are what we describe as Goro boys, and they are making the situation difficult for those going through the normal process. That is the picture here at the DVLA office, the first official working day of the week, and it's total chaos.
They know the Goro boys, so they will send the Goro boys to bring the money to them. Yes. So the problem between the bank people and the Goro boys.
I managed to get someone who was able to introduce someone who knows someone who was able to help me in a way.
That's interesting.
Oh, it is. It is. Initially, when I came in the morning, I thought I'll be able to do it myself. And when I started, I was so frustrated right from the beginning that, well, I didn't know that the system is so bad in Ghana.
And the boss of the Consumer Protection Agency, Kofi Kapito, is already threatening legal action against DVLA for what he describes as a rip-off by the state institution.
If you are taking my money, you should tell me the reason why you are taking my money. If I come here to register a vehicle, a brand new vehicle, you just don't assume that I don't have a triangular in my vehicle already. You just don't assume that I don't have a fire extinguisher in my vehicle already. Rather, you should ask me, it's part of your process. So you ask me, do you have it? I say no. Then you say, then you have to pay for it. You don't automatically charge me for something that I don't need. This is criminal. It's ripping Ghanaians off. Period. I'm going to go to the minister and tell the minister this thing needs to stop. We cannot give individual Ghanaians to rip Ghanaians off. Why am I paying for somebody's reflectors? Why am I paying for? It's not even for DVLA. For crying out loud, if government needs money, let government import it so government will make 80% instead of government making 20%. Why is government allowing somebody to bring in a triangular? Triangles, they sell them on the market. I don't have to buy it from somebody from you here in DVLA. I'm a consumer. I have a choice. I have options. We have a democracy here. This is not a kangaroo nation that we live in. This by force mandatory thing needs to stop. We will go to court because guess what? Some of the things should be explained.
And on our show this morning, we'll be monitoring the situation on day 3. Obviously, people want new number plates, fresh 2018 registered number plates. So we'll keep you up to speed with what's happening across the country today on the situation. Moving on, the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAC, has given government up to January 31, 2018 to inaugurate the governing councils of the 37 colleges of education or phase thereof. They are also demanding that government concludes negotiation with leadership of the association, the percentage of market premium deserving of CTAC members, and be implemented by April 2018. In a statement released on Tuesday, CTAC, among other things, say the absence of the governing councils is affecting the running of the colleges. The National Secretary of CTAC, Prince Obinghema, has been speaking to Love News in Kumasi.
We believe that almost 1 year down the lane when this government took over, it's not been able to put together or inaugurate governing councils for the public colleges of education in Ghana. And we all know that per Act 847, the Colleges of Education Act, subsections 5, 6, and 7, it clearly stated the formation and functions of the governing council. So as it is now, the colleges are unable to take some major decisions, and even where some decisions have to be taken, people in authority have had to resort to discretionary, arbitrary, ways of taking decisions, which we think are not the best. And we are looking at the teacher in the College of Education. We are worse off because where we are now, it's not like the GES stuff where we were. We are looking at the problems that the governing council inadequacy is bringing. So it's part of this. So it's the same thing. Yeah. So we are saying that in all of this, it's the teacher that suffers most, because you look at our current conditions now. We gain our promotions through publication, and when you publish, it is the Appointment and Promotions Committee of the colleges that have to recommend your promotion so that it will be validated by the governing council. So in this whole vacuum thing that has been created as a result of the non-functioning or non-existent governing council, it means people who have had gone through promotions 1 year down the lane are still in the state of limbo, and it's not good for all of us. So that's why we asking that we're giving ourselves up to January 31st. If the government is unable to inaugurate governing councils for all the colleges of education in the country, the CITAC, the Association of Tutors in the Colleges of Education, would advise ourselves.
Is that all there is?
Director General of Ghana Health Service, Dr. Anthony Nsiasare, is allaying fears of potential outbreak of meningitis in the country. He says robust disease surveillance system for daily consistent monitoring has brought the situation under control. Dr. Nsiasare acknowledges Ghana has recorded meningococcal types C and W bacteria infection in some regions, but insists there is no danger. Here's Ohiming Terrier's report.
Until recently, Ghana was noted for meningococcal type A strain, endemic in the northern belt of the country. However, sporadic outbreaks of meningococcal type C and W in Ashanti, Bono, Ahafo, Central, Eastern and Northern regions have raised fears. A number of meningitis-related fatalities have occurred in some senior high schools nationwide in the last few months. 7 of them were recorded at Kumasi Academy, Kumaka alone last April. The Ghana Health Services say the figures are too low to warrant mass vaccination. Dr. Nsiasare says Ghana has one of the most resilient systems for early disease detection and control.
In endemic zone, which means that meningitis occurs from time to time, especially the 3 northern sector is in endemic stage. But we say that it becomes epidemic. Epidemic means that you see 1 or 2 cases, you treat them, but all of a sudden there's a surge in the number of meningitis cases. Then that is where you can quickly say that what we are diagnosing, most of it is type C or type W. Type A is in our routine immunization. So that one, we are hoping, that's why we are not seeing type A. What we see is either type C or type W. So it's a type W which has not reached that epidemic threshold for us to do mass vaccination. So we are not praying that we see that surge in maybe one of the districts. No, that's what we are hoping for. We want the fatality rate to come as low as possible. And when you do that, then everybody knows that you are managing the situation.
That notwithstanding, the Ghana Health Services say it is on alert to prevent an epidemic.
You see, fatality rate is that if there's only one patient and the patient dies 100%. If there are 50 patients and 2 dies, it's 25%. So it is not the absolute number, which is the percentage. If you look at the percentage, if you are not very careful, see, yeah, people are dying. Maybe it's only 1. Our surveillance is showing us that we haven't gone above any unusual thing. So what we are interested in is where there's congregation of people, especially in the secondary schools, where there's congregation of people, especially in our prisons. But you see, there's something. All these things happen, but you see, the prisons are spared. See, God does his work in a very special way.
But just yesterday, the prison officer just sent this warning out that there could be an outbreak of meningitis in the prisons.
Because he has also received our alert. The prison health officer there has, they have some nurses there. They have received our alert, so they have to also mention it. And our people are working together with them. So our eyes are there. Our eyes are at the prison, our eyes are at the schools, our eyes are also at even public place of congregation.
District Health Information Management System, under which community health personnel collate data daily nationwide has been activated. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohimini reporting.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor is fully functional with the exception of the person to man it because President Akufo-Addo on his first day at work this year assented to the bill passed by Parliament last year. With this out of the way, the office will now act as specialized agency to investigate specific cases of corruption involving public officers, politically exposed persons and persons in the private sector involved in the commission of corruption, as well as prosecute the offences on the authority of the Attorney General.
In the presence of the Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, President Akufo-Addo also signed the bills establishing the Zongo Development Authority, the Coastal Development Authority, the Middle Belt Development Authority, and the Northern Development Authority. These bills, according to President Akufo-Addo, are some of the most important elements of the 2016 New Patriotic Party manifesto, upon which the party was elected into office.
As you know, in the course of the campaign, we indicated that we wanted to try a new approach to the development of our country, a new approach that went towards a decentralization of the development paradigm. The centralized approach to development that we have witnessed virtually the entire period of our independent life has not been successful in delivering development at the grassroots of our society. And therefore, we made this commitment that we would spend every year on each constituency the equivalent of $1 million. And that these developmental authorities that are now going to be put in place will be the vehicle for the management of these funds and the expenditure of the $1 million, the equivalent of $1 million per constituency commitment.
Signing the bill for the establishment of the Office of Special Prosecutor, President Akufo-Addo hoped the establishment of the office will help root out corruption.
My hope and expectation is that the establishment of this office is going to be an important step in our collective determination to root out corruption in the public life of our country. All of us know that it has been a major bane in the development of Ghana. And hopefully this office, that is its intention, will make that contribution and make sure that public officials, past and present, are held to account for their actions, and that corrupt acts will no longer go without investigation and, if necessary, sanction once due process has been respected.
All right, that's it for the news, at least for now. We are fortunate to have, I think, 3 newspapers. Are they the only ones working today? We'll find out if there are more. But somebody who's also not been on the show for a while, we're unleashing him onto you today. Hopefully, all goes well in 2018, you know, with us. But stay with us, you're watching the AM show. There's more when we review the newspapers that we have. We'll touch base online as well, and we'll start from home, myjawline.com. If you're just joining us, you missed the news, but we've got more to come. You're watching the AM show.